All right, Fun Nation, welcome back to another edition of Behind the Bumpers. Today I'm here at the FIM District Belleville event with Team 4405, the Adams family. My name is E. Lockman, and I'm here with the defending Michigan State Championships to talk about their excellent deep climb. This thing is really freaking cool, and it caught my eye as soon as I walked into the event. And we're also going to talk about their very smooth coral and elevator transition, as well as everything else that goes into this awesome machine. So we'll hear about all this and more coming up on Behind the Bumpers.
All right, hello, my name is Luke. I'm the electrical captain and lead driver for 4405. So I'm going to walk through our algae system and our climbing system. So for our algae system, we were really inspired by Cranberry Alarm and their robot in 3 days. So we decided we wanted to put our algae mechanism onto the elevator so that we could efficiently reach up and de-algify both the high and low algae. So we decided to go with chain gear for our Neo. This is something like a 68-12 reduction on top of a 36-1. So it rotates our whole mechanism here. So when the elevator goes up, this is attached, so everything just goes up with it. This allows us to get high algae, low algae. We're having some trouble with this system keeping the algae in. So usually what we've been doing is just taking the algae off the reef, turning and spitting out the algae, though we have gotten this to work with the processor sometimes. Because the way we also mounted it like kind of low here, we're able to get a ground intake when we just rotate this out.
Awesome. All right, now talk about this really epic climber.
Yes,
this thing is really awesome.
Yes, so these climbers, we were loosely inspired by the Thunder Stamps of 2022, Team 4907, with their amazing traversal to slam down on the ground and grab the top bar. So we decided to go with a similar-ish system where we push down on the ground with screws, and then we have latches that will grab the cage as it comes up. So with the climbers, these are way taller than they need to be because we originally had these latches way lower on the base plate. So we would climb up around 6 inches and then latch onto the cage and then come back down. However, we found out we were violating, I believe, yes, rule R405, which says that the bumpers have to stay within the bumper zone as long as the bottom of the robot is effectively on the ground. So when we climbed, we extended the bottom of our robot. So that turned out to be illegal. So we made some quick modifications during the competition today. We raised the latches, we limited the amount we could climb through software, and we haven't gotten any penalties on our climbs today.
That's really cool. Now, let's see this thing in action, because this thing is awesome.
Well,
all right, next up we've got Jack to talk about their very smooth coral arm and elevator transition. So let's see it.
So our coral arm, we decided to go with a funnel to better be able to get coral into a robot. So this allows us to go up to the be pretty fast at the coral station as opposed to waiting forever for it to reach our arm. We also had to, because the cage goes into the middle of our robot, we had to have our arm kind of rotate up and out of the way. So that was also a design consideration. And then we have a bunch of presets. James, want to go through the presets? We can go through that. So this is our L4 preset. Our arm motor is on 100-to-1 reduction. We just wanted to be really precise with it, and we were having issues with a 20-to-1, so we went with that. Plus a 3D printed gear up top, and then a 39-tooth pulley. Sorry, not gear, pulley. And then 39-tooth below. And then our elevator itself is on a 20-to-1, which allows us to be pretty fast with it. We decided to go with a 2-stage, our 1-stage elevator, as opposed to a 2-stage, because as Jenny can show you, we got our L3 and L2 positions. We don't have to actuate up and down, and also it simplifies the process of scoring algae.
Very interesting. So talk to me about this intake.
Yeah, so we were looking at some RI3D teams, or earlier teams, and some team had something similar to this. We thought it looks pretty good. So we went with that, and then we added these 2 metal panels here and here to kind of funnel that coral in as it crosses over this empty area below the end of the funnel. Right now the funnel's broken, so we're working on fixing it, but
awesome.
You get the general idea.
Cool. Next up, we've got Jaden to talk about the awesome software that goes into this robot. Take it away.
So yeah, I'm software captain for this team. Right now we have a really good auton, a 3 coral auton so far. So we're using Path Planner to plan all that stuff out. You can take a look here. So yeah, we have a 3 coral auton. Very accurate. We actually only had 1 day to get this done. And after that one day, we tested it a few times and we were able to get it pretty dialed in for this competition.
Awesome.
One of the reasons we're so accurate is just our cameras all over our robot. You can see on the front swerve modules on our robot, you can see 2 cameras mounted there. And then on the back near our coral intake, we also have 2 more mounted there, a little bit higher up on the robot. And those scan the April tags along the field, allowing us to kind of like figure out our position on the field with very, very really good accuracy, millimeter precision almost. So definitely a big plus when we're working with very specific placement positions for where we want to deposit our coral on the branches. So
Awesome. So tell us about some of the other sensors that are on this robot too.
So yeah, we have some sensors to detect our coral up here in our coral hand, and we have one for our algae arm. So in this coral here, it allows us to know when we're loaded fully, which is really helpful in software because we can just have a state that allows us to just determine if we should intake more or intake less, or how to just position the coral in that actual intake hand here. And it lets us know when we deposit it to, so that the auton can continue on with very little delay, waiting for stuff to come out and stuff with manual delays.
Awesome. All right, Fun Nation, this has been another edition of Behind the Bumpers with Team 4405, the Adams family. Thank you so much to Jack, Luke, and Jaden for all their awesome work here today with this amazing robot and that super cool deep cage climb. So we'll see if these guys can add yet another Michigan State Championship winner banner to their collection this season, and we will catch you guys in the next edition of Behind the Bumpers.